Now, in our system, we do some intentional learning readiness long before we ever introduce the Bible event. And in the learning readiness in our system, especially for elementary ages and up, has the children interact with some type of activity that will actually help create an emotional effect. Here's an example. Without saying what the lesson is, and after we've greeted one another, we say we're going to play a game. We're going to get in a circle, and one person is going to hold an ice cube in their hand. Everybody puts your hands behind your back. One person is it in the middle. We close their eyes, and now we pass the ice cube to other people's hands around the circle. And you can fake passes. Now, this is a skill, by the way. You have to kind of show them how to fake them. And before long, the ice cube is going around the circle, and the person in the middle gets 3 guesses as to who's holding it. And if you're holding this in your hand behind your back, guess what begins to happen other than melting?
It hurts.
It does.
It does.
It does. It begins to burn. Mm-hmm. And then we ask a question. Let's sit down and talk about this. Have you ever done something wrong that you wanted to hide? And it began to almost burn in your heart. And then the shepherd would say, I remember when I was in 3rd grade, one time I wrote on the wall at school, everybody, well, you know, that's what I did in 3rd grade. I should be quiet about that. Well, then the kids can identify with that, and then they all share. Well, they're talking about stuff that has feeling behind it because they've hidden, and they know what that feeling is like. Now, today we're going to talk about what happened when Cain tried to hide what he did wrong. As part of it, and so then that introduces the lesson, and off they go to the lesson. So that's one example of it. Now, another example, especially that works well with smaller children, is the use of puppets. In that game that we did would not work well with preschool children because they don't have enough experience to want to recall. But they do have experiences, and puppets are great ways to identify with a child's experience. So I believe puppets, more than teaching, ought to help kids experience emotions or experience a part of the story. So for 4 and 5-year-olds, we would begin a lesson with a puppet presentation that might go like this. Excuse me, Judy. My hand is getting
stuck.
Okay. Better. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Okay. Okay. All right. Judy. Judy, what's wrong? I'm sad. You're sad. I'm sorry you're sad. Judy, why are you sad? Well, my great-grandma died. Oh, Judy, I am so sad, too. Oh, and I loved her very much. Yes. And she made cookies. And I'll never have cookies with her again. Oh, Judy, I know that must feel very, very sad. Boys and girls, maybe you have felt sad, too, when someone close to you passed away or died. Have you ever felt sad? Yes, I felt sad like that, too. What did you do? Well, Judy, I remembered that even though I felt sad, that I had something to be glad about, too. Glad? What's that? Well, because Jesus died, everyone was sad. Yeah, but Jesus came alive again. And He told us that anyone who believes in Him and believes that He died on the cross for all the wrong things they did, even if they died, they would be alive with Him forever. Like Grandma? Yes. And since she trusted Jesus as her Savior, she's alive right now with Him, even if we can't see her. Really? Yes. So that's kind of a happy feeling or a glad feeling, even if I still feel sad. Wow. Well, it is glad, but I still feel sad. Well, today we're going to learn about being happy even though we're sad, just like the disciples did, the followers of Jesus, when Jesus died on the cross. So that's an intro.
Right.
I went a little bit long. Well, that's about how long it lasts. But then that ties in to what the kids would do later that day in making their craft, which is a happy, sad cross. Even though Jesus died and rose for me, even though Jesus died and we're sad, we can be glad that we will be alive with Him forever. Okay. So that's a way to connect with that emotion with younger ages. So that's the whole warm-up time. So we want to help from the beginning of the experience all the way to the opening of the lesson, connect with what it means to just kind of get your heart ready to get open so you can better experience the lesson emotionally.
Great.